Yes, the European Commission is going to have a little more time. You can argue that this is unfair, but you can also argue it's unfair to the Commission because it's really 27 countries. So if you look at that, it is probably okay. I would like to ask our first panelists to the stage, Norbert Sargstetter, Karsten, Michael, Pramod, where do I see you? Please come on stage. Please.
Free seating.
Yeah, free seating. Thank you for being here. Florent, good to see you. Yeah, please.
I'm sorry. Okay. Where do you want to?
You want to go? Please. So, Norbert, I'd like to start with you. If you could quickly introduce yourself and then maybe introduce this EUDI project that I'm sure a lot of us here have heard about.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much, Daniel. I mean, it's great to see you brought together the digital collaboration identity community of the world to Switzerland. So thank you very much for doing that, and I'm very happy to be here for the European Commission. I will say a few words on the European digital identity wallet today, which has a global vocation. It is a wallet where we have an aim to set global standards for identity, and I hope you will be able to convey this message also in this short presentation. Maybe if you go to the next slide, or can I? Good. So the clock is ticking in Europe, ladies and gentlemen. So the European Union will issue a European digital identity wallet to all its citizens by the end of next year. It's a regulatory obligation to all member states. It is an opportunity for citizens, a voluntary opportunity for citizens, but we believe it's a great opportunity for each and every one of us. It will be free to use for all citizens and residents according to national law. It will be accepted in the public and private wherever identification at a high degree of assurance is required. And it will be strictly security and privacy oriented. So you'll have a wallet where you will be able to decide which data you will share, which credentials you will share, and with whom. And you can do that with any private or public person, individual or company across the union, and there will be legal recognition across the union for the data you share. So whatever you do is going to be recognized in any other country of the union. This is for us a very exciting project. It's a project that will deliver us not 27 wallets, 27 in one. You know, it's a very European project. It's unity and diversity. We have an open source commitment. This is all on GitHub already. We have one set of open specifications. We've got one open source reference implementation, and we've got an obligation for the 27 to deliver it by the end of this year. So it may come in different colors, I'm not sure, certainly in different languages, but it all will carry the European spirit in it. What will it do? It will, and we will hear about it, it will deliver a lot of benefits in our personal and professional life. Just to give you a couple of examples in here, we will hear from our pilot projects in a moment what they have delivered so far. In a nutshell, what the regulation delivers is a generic legal and technical interoperability framework for any data you wish to share across borders. So we deliver you a framework where you can issue digital data that needs to be recognized across the union and will be fully interoperable, shareable through the wallet. We think it's a game changer, and it's an offer to the private sector, to business, to take a step ahead in digitizing our societies. The Commission will also take a step ahead in providing the wallet. It will offer a European business wallet for economic operators, as we call it. This will bring the benefits of the European digital identity wallet to the level of businesses. We will offer a trusted digital identity for economic operators and public sector bodies. So one identification means for all companies and public public offices in Europe, we will offer a legally valid, secure, recognized digital channel for communication between companies and between the public and the private. We will offer the package of trust services that EIDAS, that the regulation offers, like signatures, seals, timestamps, and we will strictly drive it to the markets. It will be a commercial offer to the market. It will complete our offer on digital identity. Why does it bring us all of this? It brings us to a European digital public infrastructure. We strongly believe at the Commission that the wallet, the European digital identity wallet, will be the core of a European digital public infrastructure. It will link identity, data exchange and payments in a trusted and secure manner and take competitiveness, cost reduction to European industry to the next level. It will deliver political benefits. It will enable inclusion in digital citizenship. It will bring public government in democracy to the young generation, to the generation that works today on the mobile phone and not on a 50-page PDF form to be filled in and scanned and sent in to ask anything from the administration. This is our plea, and this is an exciting project on our side, and we'd like to invite you to participate in it. I strongly believe it can be a global project as well. Thank you very much, Daniel and colleagues.
Thank you very much, Norbert. Can I ask you for a quick show of hand? Who here has never heard of the EUDI wallet? Can you raise your hand? Okay, Norbert, I think you've done a fantastic job. This is probably not a representative crowd, but well done. So we want this to be a quick panel, and as we said at the very beginning, look at today as a teaser. You're going to hear a lot more about the EUDI wallet project. Of course today, but also tomorrow in many of the deep dives. Today is really designed to give you an overview. Carsten, maybe I can start with you. Can you say a few words who you are, so people understand who's on stage here?
Of course. So hello everybody, my name is Carsten Rosche. I'm coming from the newly founded Federal Ministry for Digital Transformation and Government Modernization. I always have to think a little bit about this title because it changed sometimes. Now it's more or less fixed. I'm working in digital transformation for more or less 16.5 years now, and for 4 years I've been working on digital identity topics, and currently I'm leading the national implementation project of the EUDI wallet in Germany, together with a fantastic team, of course, and that's why I'm here. Maybe that's
Thank you.
All for now.
Thank you, Carsten. Michael, we go back a while. We know each other for some time. Can you tell us a little bit on who you are?
How to switch it on? Is it on just right now? No. I think this doesn't work. Maybe. Now it's on. Okay. Thank you, Daniel, for inviting us here, and it's really a great event, and I love to be here, and I want to go back a little bit what Daniel mentioned before. My name is Michael Butz. I'm from Vienna, and I'm not a digital native. I'm not a digital immigrant. I'm a digital fossil, because I started in IT in 1980, and I'm happy to see now the movements that's going on with the European Commission and what is here going to be the future with the EU ID wallet, and I'm really happy to be part of this. I'm representing the ESD. This is the European Signature Dialogue. This is an association representing more or less the member states and the QTSPs. For those who don't know what a QTSP is, it's a qualified trust service provider. And I want to mention these guys, they know what to do, because they did this for, I think, the past 25 years. They are dealing with certificates and using how certificates is not an, let's say, uncomplex thing, but now everything is used in, and it makes also the user it makes easy to use just right now. It is a very complicated, let's say, technique. But I think it is necessary to have these guys. It is all about trust in the future, and trust is, I think it is really necessary to have trust in the world, because we have now a situation that maybe someone's are led by the impersonate character deficit, and so we have to trust into something, and so I think this is very good that the Europeans are taking this up and running on this technique. We also have to do something for the European sovereignty, and I think we started also with GPDR. Then the wallet and the electronic identity is one of the main pillars in this technology. We also need to have European cloud centers and European cloud services, and maybe at the end of the day also a European browser, which makes it much more easier for the Europeans to use it. Today in the morning, I read the news in Austria. Microsoft has opened up a data center, a huge data center in Austria, and they will go online, I think, in August. And they said, okay, they will follow all the European directives and regulations. At the end of the day, we have to see this, because a little bit has to be in certification and in supervising this, because the QTSPs are usable to this. They know how to deal with the European supervisory boards and all the caps. We have also a lot of regulation, sometimes a little bit overlapping. We have to do some red taping here a little bit on these, because we have Aadhaar, DORA, NIS2, and a lot of regulations for the industries and so on, dealing more or less with the same things, and we have to do a little bit more on here, but everything is on collaboration, harmonization, and this is where we're working on.
Thank you. I'm afraid you have used up your time in the welcome, but this was very informative. Florent,
I watched this call. Okay.
Florent, you are representing another one of the EU member states.
Yes. Thank you, Daniel. Hello, my name is Florent Tournois. I'm the head of the French UDI wallet project named France Identité. I'm also coordinator of the consortium named Potential and the next consortium named Aptitude. I'm happy to be here, to bring some idea and to defend the European value around the wallet. And I'm happy to announce that for the French wallet, we bring the mobile vehicle registration certificate inside the wallet yesterday. It's quite a success in France, so download it if you are French. Thank you.
Thank you, Florent. I don't know how many people here can claim that they have helped birth one DPI that is serving 1 billion people. I certainly can't. We have someone on stage who can claim to have helped birth 2 of them. Pramod, you came from far away. You're sitting far away. I'm really happy you're here. Can you tell us a little bit about
No, fantastic to be here. Good morning, everyone. I did not expect it to be so hot, by the way.
It feels like
Bangalore
home,
is nice and cool.
It feels like home, I suppose, no?
No, we are at 20 degrees in Bangalore, so it was
Really?
really hot. Yeah, so anyway, fantastic to be here. I don't have to wear cold clothes. So, yeah, my name is Pramod Varma. I've been the former chief architect of India's identity project and the wallet project and data sharing and payments. So what generally it was known as India Stack. Many of my colleagues, friends, partners in crime are all here. I think many of them are attending. And each of them have, identity is 1.4 billion people have it today. Wallets is used by about 500 million people, 10 billion credentials. So it's really largely adopted. So lovely to be here and sharing the learning and what EU is doing in pushing the, trust layers, the governance side of that story. They're all very useful for us to learn from and to continue to upgrade already a running infrastructure for India. And we also have very reasonably well-balanced private and public partnerships. So India is a lot more open country for variety of tech startups, both domestic and global. So we really encourage both to coexist, not one versus other. So happy to share some of that as well. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. When we think about wallets, many people think about an app, but wallets are really foundational in many ways. Any of you here, how do you view wallets in terms of being sort of the bedrock of other services? Whoever wants to go first. By the way, the clock is misleading. The 60 minutes is for the entire session. We have to fit in 3 panels in this. Who wants to go first? Please, Carsten.
Yes, I will. First of all, it's really impressive to see so many people here coming together to talk about collaboration. The hall is entirely full, even up there. A lot of people are sitting. It's great to see. I mean, it's competition that pushes us forward, but it's collaboration that makes us stronger. So let's get stronger together. Well, that's probably something I also will see for a wallet, because I mean, we have the Aadhaar regulation for more than 10 years now in force, and things have evolved. But in the end, the real push was still missing, I guess. We had national systems, and there was some interoperability, more or less working. But I guess the new eIDAS is a really huge step in that case, because it not only focuses on the identity, but it focuses on the whole ecosystem. And that's the main difference I see, and that's why I think a wallet, following these rules, these legislative rules, is really a huge step forward, because on the one hand, we bring together the identity, the trust of the government, of the persons, also of the companies, of course. We're talking about legal wallets. So that's nice, but that's not something you really need. You need something you use every day. I mean, we see that there are wallets already on the market. Yeah? We are not starting on a green field. And you see people are using it, not because it's fun and not because they want to use a wallet, but because it's something doing for them that's very, very convenient. And bringing that together with the identity, with the official identity, I guess, is a huge step. That's from the user perspective. On the other hand, what I see on the market is a huge fragmentation in standards and protocols and things like that. Even in our own government, to be sincere. And I guess that the wallet will be a great step in harmonizing that. Because if everything works as we expect and hope it will work, we will not only have a convenient tool, but also a harmonizing tool. So making processes go through the entire line more effort, with less effort. And that's something I think a wallet can achieve. And that's why I think that's a huge step in going forward.
Pramod, can I ask you, you have a lot of experience with Aadhaar, and Aadhaar has been around for a while, and it's been a huge success. What has it enabled in India? What are you most proud of in terms of use cases?
Is it on? Okay, yeah. So for us, it is, see, if you look at 1.4 billion people, the cost of transactions in a society is very, very high for most people to be able to access bank services or investment services, insurance, and many other economic opportunities, including jobs and so on. And the cost of verification continues to climb up as the compliance increases. So whether it's KYC, PML, terrorism funding, so institutions keep increasing the cost, and the more cost comes into a system, the less people get to access it. And that was a huge issue. In 2010, we had less than 20% in banking sector, less than 2% in capital market and less than literally nearly less than 1% in insurance. That's out of a billion people. Less than 2% even participating. That's ridiculous when you want formalization of a society and inclusion of that society into the formal economy. And if you were to do that, you have to reduce the cost to institutions. And cost reduction has been the biggest actually the value that delivered. KYC cost, for example, came down from $25 to 10 cents. And that means we could open 700 million new bank accounts. Out of that, 65% is all women. First time ever in the history of India. So it is amazing that it's amazing that a small step like this, small step, actually seemingly small step, it's not small because half the time we debate about interoperability and everything else, but when you actually give the user the custody of their properties and documents and assets in their hands, which is the wallet, in users' hands, and make them verifiable digitally and trustworthy digitally, the entire system flows much more smoothly with very low cost, and that allows transactions to supercharge itself. And Indians have benefited hugely, and very, very proud of what we did. We launched our wallet in 2015, so we were very ahead of time because we had no choice.
You mentioned, inclusivity. We want our wallets to be inclusive. We want them to be secure. Sometimes those are forces pulling us in different directions, right? If you want the most inclusive solution, it's probably just a QR code with all the information. If you want the most secure solution, it may not be that inclusive because it probably requires a high-end device. We want our wallets to reflect our values as societies. How do we bring those different pulls together?
If I may very quickly answer that, for India and much of Global South, it'll be the same issue. If you expect everyone to have a smartphone device, high-end device, you will leave at least half the population, at least, which is like 600 million, 700 million people, okay, is out of the system. And if you want it to be unique to the user, then it creates even more issue because a lot of in India, family shares a phone. So my children's credential actually is in my daughter's credential is in my wallet because she's not even a consenting age until some time, until 18 or 21 or whatever the consenting age is. So it's important to allow shared device usages and no device usages. If you don't have that idea, and that's what specifications can do. If you have a very good specification, I don't think we should have to worry too much about the app itself. I think we should be less worried about the app. I think it should be worried about actually large-scale adoption. And second point I would say is that allow layered proofing. That means not all transactions require the same trust levels. And we sitting in a central office, deciding that very in an opinionated way, comes in the way of what people do. Sometimes they want, to send a $10 or 10 euro across to their niece for a gift. You don't need that kind of KYC checks or counterparty checks or verification. Or you want a small job, gig job. Do you need that kind of? They already use paper ID, don't they? They already show their paper certificate. Why are we complicating beyond that?
So the rest of Europe, I assume you all care about security. Is inclusion a topic as well? How are we trying to tackle this? Maybe Florent?
Yes, for us, security versus inclusivity or accessibility, it's a nightmare in France. We have a very high level of security, so we have very low in inclusion. So accessibility is not so good for now. We have to deal with that. And as we want the highest level of assurance, for now, it's not for everyone. And as you explained just before, for us, for now, it's one person, one device, one app, one identity. And there is kind of frontier because, in fact, I do some e-government services for my mother, for example. That's life. And in every family, there is kind of stuff like that, and we have to deal with that. For now, it's not really possible, so it's a family stuff with some device. But we have to deal with that.
We have another 4 minutes and 45 seconds if we don't want to go over. Michael, Norbert, Carsten, quick response on the security versus inclusion question.
Yeah, I think also that this is very useful for the security, because you cannot give the security of IT into the hand of a citizen. And trust is that the citizen is able to feel that this is trusted, and there are a lot of experts working on these ID wallets, and this is the basic for further services. And I think this is good that the people are able to trust and the technique, and that they are not, let's say, confronted or compromised, which we have to deal with. I think this is one of the major things also, that we have one big solution where we all working upon together.
Maybe I can just confirm for the European Commission at Pramod, I mean, what you've done in India was really a lot of inspiration for us, because for us, the wallet, as in India, is really a project of democracy in Europe. We want this to bring, you know, the life of European people into the digital age, all generations. And, you know, when we talk about security, usability, uptake, I mean, this is at the core of the claim of the European Commission when we do the architecture and reference framework, as we call it, the technical specifications for the wallet. There's no point in designing a system which is only accessible to people who can afford mobile phones that cost more than 1,000 euros a piece. There's no point. And this is what we are working into our technical specifications together with member states, and that's a discussion that happens now, today, as we speak. It's not an easy discussion, but technical solutions are available. We need to take the young generation in, we need to take the older generation in, and people who cannot afford mobile phones. So thank you very much, Pramod, to put this on the table, because this is really also very much what we want to do in Europe. Thank you.
It will be Rolf's and my role to get people off stage and try to time box. So I want to leave with a good example, but Carsten, maybe I can ask you the last question. What are the services that you're most interested in terms of payment or health or maybe travel that, you know, you, not just as a government representative, but maybe also as someone who's going to carry the wallet, what are you excited about?
Well, to be sincere, it's really hard to tell, because in the end, last year I lost the access to my phone for some weeks. It's probably my fault, but I really wanted to get it back, so there was not an option to just erase it and start from scratch. I wanted to gain access again. And that's when I noticed how much dependency there is currently already on this phone. So I'm doing nearly everything with it already. So in the end, the main question for me is not which are the most important services, but how can I get them in a secure and efficient way, so I can have more trust in whatever I'm doing. And that's something where the wallet definitely kicks in, because that's one of the main goals. And that's probably also because why the wallet has such a positive perception everywhere in the public. As I said, I'm working on government projects for a long time already, but it's the first time that I have a project that is such positive. That's great. That's really great. It's a great spirit. And I think we should really use it and go further one step more. And regarding the conversation, security versus inclusivity, of course, that's probably a drawback you get when you put in some official national identity into a wallet. But on the other hand, I guess we have to find just pragmatic solutions. In the end, a lot of things we are doing do not require such a high level of assurance. And I'm pretty sure that we can find solutions that are convenient in that cases. And the more or the higher level of assurance you need, the more seldom the cases are. So that's where probably it's a solution to say, okay, it's a little bit less convenient there. But we shouldn't stop there. Yeah? We should look at what we need to have the convenience and security in every phone. Yeah? And I guess there will be a session tomorrow where we are talking about wallet requirements. Just some little advertisement, you can see me there again. And that's something I guess we have to talk about, because it's not only for the wallet, it's for our whole life already.
Thank you. Thank you, Carsten. Thank you, Florent. Thank you, Michael. We have one more session with Pramod and Norbert here. Thank you very much. And I hope you have a chance to speak with people here. It's really a unique opportunity to have Germany and France and Austria being represented. So, go seek out our panelists and find them. Thank you.